Hello everyone, this is Crode giving you a shoutcast in another game, excuse me, between Virus, Naama, and Duckloadra here on Metalopolis. This is game 1 in a series. I don't know if it's a best of 3, best of 5, best of 7 until I cast more of the games, and I will go ahead and update the score over here as the games do complete, so you guys will know who is currently winning. Naama spawning as the green Terran player here at the 6 o'clock position. Meanwhile, Duckloadra spawning here as the red Protoss. I am trying to use my new microphone as well, trying to adjust everything and also adjusting my monitor just a little bit as the angle of viewing is a little bit different as I have a microphone about I'd say almost 2 inches in front of my mic, so I am talking directly into the mic and hopefully this does sound good. I know there's probably a little bit more bass, but then again you guys can hear me better. We have Naama opening up with the front door here. He will be putting a barracks and another supply depot here. And now Duckloadra, if he has scouted out Naama or knows Naama's playstyle, he may get abused once again by Void Rays. Void Rays are very powerful, especially when a bunker tries to get placed here. Those Void Rays are just able to get so much damage onto those supply depots, as the range on the supply depot, or the range on the bunker is only 6, the same range as a Void Ray. And because of that, you're able to take down those very, very early supply depots without any real issues and then try to supply lock your opponent. So if you see that, and as a Protoss player, you see a lot of supply depots close to the front and then perhaps a bunker on the front door, you can try to get Void Rays and clear those out before your opponent either gets Vikings or a lot more Marines with Stim in order to catch up to those Void Rays. We are going to see the SCVs and probes now starting to scout about. And because this is a close air spawn, I would not be surprised to see some Banshee play, some dropship warp prism play here on Metalopolis. There's a lot of room to maneuver. There are these back vents over here where you can place down units pretty easily. You can see the supply depot already being placed down by Naama. And I actually think it's a little bit of a benefit for Naama's positioning, as the vents actually are large enough to put down a decent sized building. Not quite so here. And on top of that, you only need 2 buildings in order to keep track of what's happening. You need 1 building here and then 1 building here. With over on this side, Duckloadra will be forced to have a building in here, and then a building on this side, and then also a building on this side in order to gain full sight on what's happening around this area. In order to be able to respond correctly to any drops. We are getting a probe that is now trying to run away. The Marine may be able to come down that ramp in just a moment, finish off that probe. No White Raw or Duckloadra being very smart, already backing off with that probe, and now trying to get some damage onto that probe, and now getting some damage onto the Zealot. The Zealot taking a fair amount of damage already, as the Marine trying to run past that Zealot. Will they be able to run it? And oh, Duckloadra just a second behind on that Marine. The Marine and that Zealot moving at about the same speed, or exactly the same speed, as the Marine just wandering around and trying to get as much damage as possible. This is going to be very, very difficult, as the probe now joining in on that action, and it's going to be an early 2 Marines as the SCVs now come over as well. There's also a Stalker joining in on that fight as the SCVs try to shoot down that 1 probe, and now an early Stalker pressure by Duckloadra looks to deal a lot of damage, and that is going to definitely be a problem. SCVs need to start mining like crazy. A Marauder now going to be coming out. Stim pack being researched. And now SCV is going to perhaps try to help engage alongside that one particular probe there. Damage is being dealt to that probe. Down goes the probe. And now the Stalker, being very smart, does not want to try to walk up that ramp, as the Marauder would be able to get off 2 to 3 free hits onto that Stalker if the concussive shell was researched. An easy 3 hits, as now Duckloadra or White Raw, however you want to refer to him, now returns home. His original name was Right Raw, but he has been sponsored by Duckload, so changed his name to Duckloadra in order to pay, I guess, homage. And now we see a triple gateway expansion here and at around the 6-minute mark. So it looks like Duckloadra going to have a very, very successful economy going, especially since this command center is not yet in place. It is upgrading to an orbital command. But Naama doing a great job making sure that he does not fall behind in the economic game between in Terran versus Protoss. It is very, very easy to fall behind, especially with your opponent trying to chrono boost or being able to chrono boost buildings. If you don't get that additional command center with orbital command and mules, you will quickly fall behind. You can now see Naama going into a double reactor. no factory as of yet. So without a factory, he's going to have a very difficult time to get any starports out. We already have the robotics facility in play. An observer now being trained, and most likely a robotics bay will be warped in just a moment, allowing the production of Colossi. And as those Colossi move out, the group of units, the group will be able to move out very, very easily. The group is moving, or I think it's the group is moving out. I get those confused sometimes, so I am working on that as well. We are going to have a lot of Marines as we see triple reactors now coming online. We also see that Naama currently just mining away with multiple SCVs down over here, trying to get a stronger economy going. He does need to get some additional gas. And at some point before the 11-minute mark, I expect both players, or at least Duckloadra, to try to expand over here to the high ground, as Duckloadra should be able to turn this into a very macro-heavy game. And with a very macro-heavy game, be able to just simply warp in a lot of units and train up a lot of Colossi to deal a lot of damage very, very easily. Still no robotics bay though, so I'm curious as to what Duckloadra really wants to do. I don't see enough production units. Perhaps he's going to be starting to train Immortals as well, as Immortals are a good combination, especially against Marauders. But there are also a lot of Marines. Those Marines also getting that stim pack upgrade completed, and now finally, and also having that combat shield just now, and now will be able to get concussive shells onto those other units. We are seeing a Ghost now being trained as well, so a Ghost Academy hidden down over here, and we are going to be getting an EMP shockwave or two off. I'm surprising to see that there is not a very strong army coming out from Duckloadra just quite yet. Naama now moving out with this group of units as an observer, able to keep track of this group of Marines and Marauders, and that may be an issue as the Marines and Marauders are now one Marauder simply stimming up that ramp, sees that there's nothing there, and continues to wander back. We are getting what Sentries, Zealots, and Stalkers army-wise significantly stronger by Duckload. So Duckload is more than ready to engage here, and that's going to be a problem as SCVs, oh, force fields. And now the SCVs are caught on the wrong side, but a nice EMP shockwave there. Nicely done as those SCVs absorbing a lot of damage. And wow, Duckload, who had, I believe, a larger army for just a moment, actually has a smaller army now as those Stalkers are in retreat. The Marines and the Marauders with SCVs now moving out. This is a very, very well-timed stim push with Marines, Ghost, and Marauders. Those SCVs perhaps should try to start auto-repairing each other, as they are going to be absorbing a lot of damage in just a moment. You can see the Marauders and Marines trying to come up the ramp over there. SCVs joining in on the fight as well, as both sides just continuing to battle it out. Both sides doing a lot of damage towards each other, and now trying to get some distance between those probes and those SCVs there. A lot of units have taken damage so far, and Naama's timing push completely catching Duckloadra off guard. You can see the units are very low on hit points now, but the damage has already been done. You can see 22 probes compared to 5 SCVs. No more SCVs left, only using mules to mine away as these units are trying to just finish off the rest of these gateway units. And there's the GG by Duckload. So Naama taking game 1 in this series between Naama and Duckloadra. A very impressive timing push, and especially that early EMP shockwave completely catching Duckloadra off guard. That EMP shockwave easily dealing somewhere in the realm of 500 damage across those Zealots and Stalkers. So really nicely done by Naama, and just timing pushing that very well, and also sacrificing all of his SCVs in order to do so. You can, yeah, just really, really well played. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed game 1 in this best of I don't know how many game series. You'll just have to stay tuned and find out as you watch the additional games. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed this 1v1 replay between Naama and Duckloadra here on Metalopolis.